Tonight I am going to see if I can finish building this Guardian box in the next hour or two. It is walnut with redwood, cedar, and redwood accent, and it'll have a hand carved Guardian on the top. So let's get into it. Let me lose this. Let me lose this hoodie real quick here. What up? How you doing, Matt? I am going to cut. Should I cut that? Is it clampable? Nice, dude. Nice. Yeah, I hear you. What do we got here? We got a message flagged for review. Nice. I'm going to switch you guys over to bandsaw view. There we go. I'm going to cut 1.5 inches off the one side of this. Before we get started. Okay. I'll have these offcuts right here to do something with later. Definitely saving these. Yeah, I shaved the beard off, but I kept the bushy mustache. But yeah, the beard was getting a little out of control, dude. And we chopped it. But yeah, check these. These offcuts are sick, dude. Keepers. So now we're going to cut the back off of this. Right? Yeah. We're going to do the bottom. We're going to cut the back off first, at least.
So now we have a drawer shape. Yeah, it's pretty nice out today, man. It's starting to warm up a bit.
I like to mark the box, like what all the parts are as I go. That way I can grab a piece and know what it is without having to try to guess. All right, so this will be the bottom drawer here. Let's do a quick little mock-up for you guys. This will be the bottom drawer. That will slide into this. Right? And then on top, it's going to have another little box. Here we have another cool little. Yeah, daffodils are flowers. Daffodils are they're bulbs, and they bloom early springs. All right, guys, so this is going to be the bottom of the box. Once we glue it all back together, this will be the drawer at the bottom. That drawer is going to look super nice. Look at that. Walnut, redwood, cedar. Very cool. Yeah, so the drawer will go in here. All right. That backwards. Either way, the drawer will go down there. This will go on top. All right. But this will get glued and clamped, if that's what you were asking about. So it'll get clamped right there, glued and clamped. That'll go on top with the drawer. All right. And then we'll have the lid. We'll have one of these stained and set in as the top handle, so you'll be able to pick it up with that. And the box will be about that deep on the top. So yeah, let's get to gluing this thing back together, guys. The fun part. Let's keep this over there. We can go ahead and get the carving stuff out of here. I'm probably gonna shave my head too, dudes. I've been thinking about it. Okay. We're going to use some Tight Bond Instant Adhesive Thick CA glue or super glue. Why you say no? So the big drawer is was one big piece, right? Let's see if we can reassemble this sucker. The big drawer is one big piece, all right? So cut the bottom off the box and then cut this out, right? So I could get that in real flat shape. Cut this out on the bandsaw, right? Once I had this piece cut out, then I cut the front and the back off of it and set it aside. So once the front and the back were cut out, then you cut out the inside. Then, once you've cut out the inside, then you can glue the back of the drawer and the front of the drawer back together, and then you have your drawer once it's all glued back together. I am gonna have to sand this a lot, yeah. A lot. I'm gonna try to get most of it done on the belt sander, but with these boxes, I like to get them to sand it up to like 180 or even 220 grit. So there will be quite a bit of sanding, unfortunately. Let's go like that. So we can get this out of the way while the glue hardens. And we're going to get some glue up inside this crack here, and then we'll press it together and glue it. Hey, Strumblers, welcome. Mr. Bubba Johnson. What's happening? Just went to check on the dog, and he's just sitting at the back door staring at me. You know, I think when you're gluing kind of rough surfaces together like this, it's better to use the thick. The thin I like to use for like getting down inside of stuff. You know. As far as impact resistance, I'm not sure. I am not sure on that one, bro. And we did have this redwood down here piece of redwood had a little bit of funkiness to it. We're gonna have to like figure out how to repair. Yeah, hey, what up, Harry? Yeah, Mr. Bubba Johnson. I was just getting sick of the beard, dude. It was like, it was a little much, you know what I mean? Beard was getting to be a little much. So as far as this, like, this gnarliness and that piece of redwood right there, like I could fill it with sawdust and wood glue, I guess. It's kind of like one of the only things I could do. I could cut another piece of wood and just glue another piece of wood onto the bottom. Which, if I made it look intentional, wouldn't be that bad, I suppose. You know, so like if I cut another base and maybe even made it a little bit wider, and maybe angled it down on each side, and made it look like it was supposed to be sitting on a base. Yeah, as it is, that's not gonna fly like that, dude. Do I want to cut up a whole ass another piece of wood though to use as the base for this thing? Could put it on a. Let me just see how it would look. Let's see how it would look, guys. If it was sitting on a redwood base, that was say, that would look like shit. That looks like shit. We're not doing that. We're gonna do the old sawdust and glue. Two long strips as the base. We could put legs on it too. Make some funky weird legs out of this or something. I suppose it'd have to be a bit longer than that. The drawer insert. No. Yeah, I'm gonna do the sawdust and glue, dudes. First, I'm gonna put a little piece of tape at the hole on the inside. So that don't come pouring out. And also I have a black CA glue, which I think would look dope. So yeah, let's try that, man. Let me get a little fun little thing to put my sawdust on. Look at this cool little, like a very bacony scrap of wood. Oh, dude, I see what you guys are saying, dude. Those are not the same thickness, though. Those are fucking close enough. Some good blue, bro. All right. Needs to hold my sawdust. Okay, we got some sawdust. Yeah, it's made by Starbond. It's a black CA glue. Might have went a little too thick on that, but that's okay. We can sand that off. Do another little layer of sawdust too, why not? Hey everybody, welcome. We're trying to repair this crack in this thing. I'm just letting this glue harden for a second. Oh, dude. So it's almost filled, guys. I think one more pass. There's just a couple little spots left to go on that. Thank you, Mr. Bubba Johnson. I think this will be the final pass and then it'll be all good. We've certainly fixed worse in here. Let's sand that. Let's sand that. So that's pretty good. There's no, you can't really feel any of that old crack in there anymore. And with the black CA glue, it actually looks pretty dope. So nice. I'll take the glue off on the, or the tape off on the inside. We'll call that fixed. Sand that off before we can glue the top. Yeah. I have 80 grit on there. That's just the only one I have. I've thought about, like, because of the nerve damage in my hand, I've thought about like getting a bunch of different grits and just swapping through and just sanding everything on that instead of the orbital. I don't know why I don't do it. It's not a big deal to like swap the belts out on it, really.
What the fuck happened, bro? We lost a bunch from the cut.
Yeah, I have some 50 grit somewhere for my orbital sander. I don't use it much.
Let's let that sit for a sec, actually.
So I didn't get that top like exactly where I wanted it. I didn't get that exactly where I wanted it before the glue started to set, and then I didn't. Once that happened, I didn't really feel like ripping it apart and redoing it. So we're gonna. It's pretty close, dude. I mean, it's like a 32nd of an inch off, but it's enough that it's fucking bothering me. But it's okay. It'll be okay. We'll clean it up. We'll sand it up. It'll look sick. But yeah, that is kind of bugging me. Drawer. I might have to sand the drawer a little bit more to get it to go in there. Just waiting for this glue to set, guys. You want to look at some cool little offcuts? We got some. It's gonna be a fantastic something, dude. I don't know. Cool looking offcut. Here's a cool offcut, dude. A little live edge walnut offcut, huh? She's a beauty, dude. What other cool shit we got here? This drawer cutout from tonight. It's a little extra piece. That'll make handles or make cool little handles or something. Yeah. And never forget, guys, the night we stayed up late in here and we made, what's his name? James? James, the offcut demon. I think Lions named him that. You know what I'm going to do now, guys, is I'm going to cut the tiniest little slice off this piece. This is from the drawer. I'm going to cut the tiniest little slice and then glue it to the back of the drawer, I think, so that the drawer sticks out ever so slightly.
Go a little thicker.
See, now with that glued in, the drawer will stick out just the tiniest little bit. And I don't know why, but I like that. I definitely like that better than the drawer sitting flush. So we'll glue that in there.
Gosh dang it. What up, Harriet? Later, Harry.
I forgot to, usually before I glue this piece on, I glue this together with this top piece to it, which is going to go like this, it looks like. Yeah. So I got to go cut a little slice off this. So this will get glued to this to help prevent the lid from moving around. And normally I like to do that while this isn't attached, but it's okay. I think I have a fix for that. Is we can put this on, put that on where we want it, right? And then we just flip it over and take it off. So let's try that. First we'll try it without the glue. That should work fine. Okay. I can't run that sander for too long at a time because of my hand, guys, so we're going to switch up for a second. Oh, hey, thank you, Scoot. Yeah, you know, when I first started to stream, like, I don't know, in November I started streaming. I got super hooked on making these boxes, and I ended up making I don't know, I think I've probably made like 40 or 50 of them, and I have like maybe 20 or 30 left. But I appreciate the kind words. And yeah, they've evolved. My little boxes have evolved quite a bit since the start. But yeah, they're super fun to make. If you have a bandsaw or you're thinking about getting one, they are really fun to make. And I have them all over my house. I was not at an event at a what was the name of that store? There's a store in Napa that I went down to this event they had, and it's like a refilling store. It's called Juniper Station. I went there a couple months ago. I went down to this place in Napa called Juniper Station, and they had like a Sunday event where like vendors could come and set up out back, and I set up a table. And it was a really cool store. I really like the model of the store because they sell like shampoo and soap and all the kind of like all those liquids that we buy that we end up just like throwing the bottles away or whatever. And so you just like bring in your bottle and you refill it at their store. It's a brilliant idea. I think more of those stores need to exist. But it was a cool show, man. And I remember like a mom bought her little girl one of my boxes, dude. And and the little girl was so excited, and it made me feel good, dude. You know? Anyways, if you guys are ever around Napa, California, check out a store called Juniper Station. Really cool store, really nice owners, and they're doing a good thing there. I looked it up, and I want to say that like half like the United States like throws away like 500 million shampoo bottles a year in the garbage or some crazy shit like that. Scoot bought a used Craftsman hobby size bandsaw. Dude, that's awesome. Those are good. You can make these on that. You can make all kind of stuff on those. I would say watch the hell's the dude's name that does all the bandsaw shit? Oh, on my in my community tab there is I linked a video from JMA Woodworks, JMA Wood Design, I think it is. Something like that. Either way, the guy is brilliant woodworker. And he put out a video recently on how to tune your bandsaw. So I linked it to my community page. I recommend it if you're trying to get your bandsaw going. Just watch how to tune it from that guy. So here's our lid, guys. Dun, dun, dun. All grain matched. Dude, check this grain. What? Look at that. What's going on there? Oh, that's grain. Just a beautiful. Oh, yeah. With the drawer all grain matched. The top still needs a lot of sanding. The top is going to get a gnome. So the top will be a gnome. That'll be the handle. And I'll use a dowel to attach to the top. This is why it's called the Guardian box, because it'll have the Guardian on top. And so this will be what you use to lift the lid. Whoop. And then I'm going to use a piece of volcanic glass for the drawer pull. So pretty excited. I made one almost like this, very similar to this, same piece of wood actually, same cut of wood, for a special order, and the person asked me to make one that had a hand carved gnome on top, and I thought, you know what? That's a brilliant idea. So I'm gonna make this one and put it up for sale. I think I want to put this one up for sale. This may or may not be the gnome that goes on top. I'm debating if I want to put the two-faced gnome with the candle holder on top. But then it's like, what if the candle's going and you need to fucking, you know, and then also you only be able to see the one side of the gnome's face anyway. So I'm still thinking about that. Oh yeah, if you guys are watching and you are one of my members, I put up a video in the member area. I'm doing a giveaway, man. I'm giving away a bandsaw box. I'm giving away a smaller jewelry box. It's like this big. It's really cool. And I'm giving away a hand-carved gnome in the members area. So you have until the end of the week, dude, into this weekend, if you're one of my paid members, to post, like, put a comment under that video in the members area to enter yourself in the drawing, and you can win one of these. The only catch is you got to pay the shipping, because I'm pretty poor. All right, guys, I'm going to get back to sanding. Oh yeah, I forgot that it's been a while since I made one of these. I like to sand on this board, and I don't know why. here's where we're at so far, guys. We have a bit of sanding to do. We still have a couple more grits of sandpaper to get through. Actually, first, we're not even done sanding 80 grit. I'm going to round over the top a little bit to make the box lid kind of stand out a little more, and finish going over it with 80 grit, and then we'll hit it with 120 grit, 180 grit, and then we'll think about hitting it with 220. Just depends on how my hands feel. So yeah, man, I'm feeling pretty good about this box, guys. It is beautiful. It got some heft to it. Just beautiful grain, dude. There's a spot on the bottom where we fixed with black CA glue and sawdust. That is nice and smooth and flat now. We have the drawer sticking out just a little bit, how I like it. Yeah, we got some more sanding to do, guys. We can't just finish it quite yet. So just rounding over the. Hey, good night, Scoot. I'm not going to be able to finish this tonight anyway, so maybe tomorrow night or Friday. But so by rounding off the top like that, it just kind of makes a little bit more definition between the box and the lid. That's all I was going for with that little maneuver. It's all good, Scoot. I'm not sure I'll be able to get through everything. Sandpaper, drilling, oiling, and all that stuff tonight. Anyways, so yeah. Guys, I'm gonna have to call it on this one for the night. That thing is just hammer in my hand. But I will finish this up. Friday night we will finish sanding and then paint this. Or not paint this, but stain this. And here is what we have so far. It's walnut, redwood, cedar, redwood, and then walnut. Absolutely stunning combination of grain there. Very, very stoked with that. And then the top handle for this will be a gnome that will be attached with a dowel. So you'll use this to open the box. And then the front piece is going to, the drawer pull, it's going to be a piece of obsidian volcanic glass, and you'll use that to open the front drawer. So anyways, guys, thanks everybody for hanging out. I'm calling it for the night, and I'll be back Friday night to finish this piece. I might stream tomorrow night, but if I do stream tomorrow night, it's going to be making some more planter boxes for my yard. So anyways, guys, appreciate you. Thanks for hanging out. If you had a good time, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We're like 50 subscribers from 1,000, which is crazy. And then don't forget to come back on Friday and you can see this one get finished and what it looks like with some oil on it. It's going to be absolutely stunning. So I'll see you guys, if not tomorrow, then Friday. Peace out, y'all.